Hello and welcome back to Natasha's Jupiter Life, the YouTube book club, where we are self-improving and all that good stuff on our continuation of Get More Living Out of Life, a guide for personal growth and professional growth by Barbara Walter Shields. We are on chapter 5 and our continuation. This video is chapter 5, Stay in the Press. Okay, just make a little adjustment here. Then we will begin to read. And don't forget, guys, once the book is completely done, we do go live and have like a wine and sip or whatever. Just chat about the book, about key points that we have absorbed, where we may see inputting some of the things that we have acquired knowledge from the book that is being read on this channel into our lives, right? Because the soul's journey is about self-mastery and self-improving and always bettering ourselves, right? So thank you for joining, liking, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff, and let's get started. Okay, tearing my background lays down. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is the way we communicate to ourselves, the actions we take, and the efforts we exert. Tentative efforts lead to tentative outcomes. Excuse me. Therefore, we need to give fully to our endeavors. The trials we will encounter will introduce us to our strengths. And if we remain steadfast, we will build something that endures, something worthy of our potential. Stay focused. You've probably seen it yourself. A loser will quit at the first obstacle, saying, "See, things never go my way. Why do I even bother trying?" And if things do go right, the loser says, "It was a fluke. I never win." They lose because they expect to lose. Winners, on the other hand, think about winning. They are successful because they think of themselves as successful. An obstacle that would stop a loser becomes a small glitch to a winner. They keep on going until they succeed. The power of maintaining an intense focus on our priorities is hard to overestimate. It is paramount to making our goals a reality and our dreams come true. Long ago, a king plagued by many worries was beginning to lose his focus, and the discouragement was starting to set in. He called his wise men together and asked them to invent a motto, a few magic words that would help him in times of trials and tribulations when he was ready to give up. It had to be brief enough to be engraved on a ring so I can see it every day, he instructed. It must be appropriate to every situation. It must be a motto, wise and true and endlessly enduring. And it must be words to which a person could be guided in every circumstance, no matter what happens. The wise men thought and finally came to the king with their magic words. "These are the words to fit every situation, good or bad," declared the wise men. "Words to ease the hardened mind in every circumstance." The words they offered the king were, "This too shall pass." My favorite. Century after century, this legend has survived. The words are wise and true and endlessly enduring. These magic words will give comfort to the affected, courage to the frightened, and hope to the depressed and discouraged. As we climb the ladder of success and encounter life's toughest moments, we can find solace in these words of wisdom. This too shall pass. If you possess tenacity, perseverance, and the will to win, you will. With these possessions, you can succeed and make challenges easier. You can make the opposition give way, and you can force doubt and hesitancy to yield to confidence and assurance. Way too many people are ready to throw their goals and dreams overboard and give up at the first sight of opposition or misfortune. But we have to learn how to triumph over defeat and transform shattered dreams into plans of action. We may wonder how we will make it through one more day. We may even wonder if the sun will ever shine again. But if we stay in the press and not give up, we will come out of the darkness and into the light. Life will not always run smoothly, and sometimes it will travel in the downward spiral. Sometimes on the road to success, we may become weary, but it is during these trying times that we must stay focused and hang in there. When all else fails, desire alone can keep us headed in the right direction. By targeting our attention with laser beam accuracy to the matter at hand, we will literally be unable to entertain destructive thoughts. Concentrating on the present reality will eliminate the fear of failure, increase our effectiveness, and enhance our peace of mind. One step at a time is how great things are accomplished. Achieving overnight success may take years, but success will only come to those who are focused, persistent, and who keep their eyes fixed on their goals. If you lay one brick a day, pretty soon you've built a foundation, then a room, then a whole house. But it can only be done one brick at a time. There are things in our life that may take time to achieve. Speed is not always of the essence. Sometimes the old adage, slow and steady wins the race, is the way the world works. It takes both courage and patience to keep going when a goal seems unattainable. But that's how the greatest rewards are gained. Proverbs chapter 4, verses 25 through 26. Admonishes to us, let your eyes look straight ahead and your glance be directly forward. Survey the path for your feet and let all of your ways be sure. Les Brown often says in his motivational presentations that if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it. If all that your dream and scheme is about and life seems useless and worthless without it, if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all your terror and of the opposition for it, if you simply go after that thing you want with all your capacity, strength, and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, famine, nor gout, sickness, nor pain of the body or brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dodged and grim you beseech and beset it, with the help of God you will get it. Excuse me, I'm going to check the pronunciation on this word. Yeah, we're gonna do this in the middle reading because I don't like. Pertinacity. Okay, I did say that correctly. The quality of being. Pertinacious, the quality and condition of being. Stubborn. Sticking with something. Pertinacity. The stubbornness of sticking with something. Yes, I like to know what I'm. Why taking the knowledge? You want to fully take in the knowledge, understand a word, understand a thing. So yes, I do that. Sagacity, not chastity. Okay, here we go. Apologize about that, but don't become discouraged. On your journey of life, you may think you've taken a wrong turn somewhere. You may feel tired and discouraged, but don't give up because your plan didn't work out. Don't give up because you didn't get what you wanted when you thought you should have had it. Don't become discouraged because discouragement often causes us to see ourselves as less than we really are. It also causes us to abandon our pursuit of success and blame others for our shortcomings. Too often, when we become discouraged, we evade our responsibilities and accept defeat. But keep in mind that the human spirit is never finished when it is defeated. It is finished when it surrenders. You cannot be persistent unless you believe in what you are doing. And unless you have faith, even through defeat, you cannot be persistent unless you believe in what you are doing and unless you have faith, even through defeat. Stay focused on the reward that will come your way once you accomplish your goal. Don't give up. Belief and faith are what make persistence possible. And your enthusiasm and positive attitude are the momentum that makes the going a little easier. You can be winning but think you're losing, so don't become discouraged and give up. Think of a long line you were once in, and after a while, and more people got in line, you weren't last anymore, and there was a long line behind you, and you were ever closer to the event. When we are on a journey toward becoming a complete person, we may reach milestones along the way, which will give us a chance to step aside and take account of how far we've come and where we still need to go. We just have to keep score. That reminds me of the story of two frogs who fell into a bucket of milk. They kept paddling and paddling, trying to get out. They were both exhausted, and finally one of the frogs gave up. The other frog kept paddling and paddling harder and harder, and after a while, the milk turned to butter. And the frog stepped on out. Success comes to those who hang on long after others have quit. Sadly, some people quit just as they are almost there. If they had just hung in a little longer, they would have made it to the finish line. Your ability to stay in the press and to continue long after everyone else has turned back is sure measure of your success. Be persistent. Calvin Coolidge, our 30th president, once said, "Press on. Nothing in the world," 30th president of the United States, that is, okay, depending on where you're watching this from, once said, "Press on. Nothing in the world can take the place of perseverance. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent." Are omnipotent. Derelict. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. Persistence is of enormous importance because so little of consequences and achieved without it, and because lack of it quite often leads to failure. Do not minimize the power of persistence, because success and achievement become to those who persist. Persistence means going after your goal with every fiber of your being. It means that every single action you take is done with precision and purpose. When you give your word, you keep it. When you make promises, you focus on delivering. When you see your opportunity, you go for it. Of course, this is not as easy as it sounds. We all have doubts. We all have times when we say, "It is really worth my time and effort to keep going in this direction." It's not a bad thing to ask questions, because sometimes you may find that you need to shift your focus somewhat or try another path. Persistence doesn't mean that you should stick to your vision blindly. It means that you should consider all paths and keep trying until you find the right one. To be persistent also means to continue steadily or firmly in some state, purpose, or course of action. It means to hold fast, to refuse to let go or quit. People who are persistent are good at breaking barriers. They do not let other people stop them from achievements or achieving their goals. They are able to overcome deficiencies in talent, education, skill, and opportunity. Persistence is the ability to look at incoming information, evaluate it, and either discard it or use it to their advantage. Persistence is me reading this book, even though some of the words I cannot enunciate. But I will read and record while checking the enunciation and pronunciation of a lot of the words. Dialect is important to me. The sound of words and their meaning. That is how we obtain knowledge. It must be absorbed correctly. One day, a father and a son went swimming, and somehow the son, who couldn't swim, got out in the deep water. He called to his father, "Father, help me, I'm drowning." The father was distressed because he couldn't swim either. But as luck would have it, there was a rope nearby. He threw the rope and told his son to take hold of it. The father began pulling the son onto shore, but the rope started breaking. The son cried out, "Father, the rope is breaking." The father called out, "Son, reach beyond the break and hold it." That's what I'm asking you to do. When things don't go as planned, when things don't go as planned and trouble comes at you from every direction, reach beyond the break and hold on. When people try to pour cold water on your dreams, reach beyond the break and hold on. When people ask you who you think you are, wanting to do this or that, reach beyond the break and hold on. Napoleon Hill said, "In life, we can't control the outcome of things that may occur, but we can control the income." Hello. We can't control what we do with incoming data. We can change our attitude. We can strengthen our faith. We can fail and fail again and make smarter decisions each time and start over once more. There will always be setbacks and difficulties. We can't stop them from happening. They are a part of life. But we can stop them from stopping us. We will always have seasons of struggles and testing when everything we attempt to do will seem to go wrong. But the perfect order of the universe always operates as a law of right action. The perfect right action governs the season as they change from fall to winter, spring to summer. It's why day is always followed by night. It explains why we can go through difficult times and be grateful for the lessons along the way. The motivation that keeps you on track and ultimately produces results comes from focusing on a destination, seeing yourself moving through the process and expecting to achieve positive results. When the attitude of expectation is strong, it keeps us moving forward and on course. Everything worthwhile in life takes dedication and time, and the people who win in life are the people who harness the power of patience and persistence. The slogan "Press On" has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. The opportunities exist if you have the initiative and the willingness to stay in the press. Next video is chapter 6, Making Your Dreams a Reality. Thank you for joining me in this chapter 5 reading of Get More Living Out of Life. I appreciate you being here, growing your knowledge, self-improving, and including me on your journey to soul growth. Blessings and abundance to you.